His proteges can turn on him, the DOJ can indict him, but we will never stop fighting for him because we see how relentless he is in fighting for all of us. And welcome home, Ron DeSantis! It's a wonderful thing having the best governor in America back on side with the MAGA movement where he has always belonged. We got Trump, DeSantis, Gaetz. We're getting the band back together. And we're on a mission from God. My sin wasn't deficit spending your dollar away. My sin wasn't diluting everything you've worked your whole life to achieve. It wasn't opening the border or arresting my political opponents. Apparently, in the parlance of Washington, I did something far worse. I demanded that Republican congressmen actually grow a spine and stand up for the commitments they made to Republican voters. As I chat with more and more folks, they are worried about the military that we have now and the tragic turn left that so many leaders at the Pentagon have embraced. When that China spy balloon was flying over our country, I think the Pentagon was mostly asking what its pronouns were. The Pentagon has lost focus. They've lost 13 of our patriots in the withdrawal from Afghanistan. They've lost billions in materiel and equipment, and the Pentagon even lost the Secretary of Defense for 5 days. How does this happen? In the calendar year 2023, 8 million people were released into the country. That's not counting the gotaways. That's not counting the terrorists that slipped by. 8 million people. So I asked the Inspector General of the Department of Homeland Security, I said, of these 8 million, simple question, how many do we know who they are and where they are? And he said, well, Congressman, of the 8 million, 6 million, we don't know who they are or where they are. There's apparently over 100,000 people who registered a McDonald's in the state of Washington as their address. There are 1.2 million people in this country, 1.2 million, who they've had all the due process, they've had their hearing, they had their judge, they had their lawyer, 1.2 million. And the courts have said, you have no basis for asylum. You have to go home. And Mayorkas has removed less than 2% of them. Less than 2% of the people that have entirely gone through that process. And one of the new dangers that I fear for all of us is this CBP1 app. Mayorkas built an app for the cartels. He literally built an app and the cartels used it and they plowed people through specific ports of entry. If we want our budget to have integrity, if we want our border to have integrity, if we want our government to have integrity, then our elections must have integrity. Paper ballots, in-person voting, signature match. And if it's not racist to ask for an ID for a fishing license or welfare benefits, then it is not racist to ask for an ID if people want to vote.